I know it's been a hot minute since I've been on here, but I've been thinking about what's been going on in Washington, D.C., and it is a precursor to what's going to eventually happen across the country. Trump will invoke martial law. He will, in the interest of national security, state, local, and regional representatives will be arrested for not suspending their sanctuary city policies, like in the case with the mayor of Boston, where she was told by August 20th to suspend all of their sanctuary city policies or face arrest. And that's what they're setting up to do. This is Donald Trump's Reichstag fire. And I feel that the vast majority of Americans in this country have forgotten what freedom truly is. Now, if you have watched any of my pinned videos on my page, you will understand my definition of freedom. My definition of freedom is absolute. It applies to everyone, regardless of whether they're a citizen of this country or not. Because freedom is the inherent state of man. It is the natural right of man. It's how we are when we are born. We are innately born free. And it's just our parents and society at large that chains us to ideologies, that chains us to systems of conformity and control. And we have allowed that. People talk about this is the home of the brave, land of the free, home of the brave. It's not the land of the free. We don't have freedom. Because if anyone can take away your freedom, then it's not freedom. It's privilege. All we've had in this country is a set of temporary privileges. As George Carlin reminded us. That if any government, if any institution can take them away, then they're not freedom. He told his audience to Google Japanese internment camps in 1942. And he said, you will learn all about your precious rights and freedom. Because the government can take away these privileges that we have anytime it doesn't suit their interests. Anytime it does not suit the interests of the ruling class. And that is why we need to resist. And they are resisting. They are peacefully resisting in Washington, D.C. Large amounts of people are protesting this action by the Trump administration. But the Trump administration isn't going to stop. In the words of Stokely Carmichael, nonviolence only works with those who have a conscience. The United States government does not have one. They never have. All you have to look to for an example is how the U.S. government has treated its citizens like fucking guinea pigs during MK Ultra, or Jim Crow laws in the South, or the Trail of Tears, in which millions of Native Americans were marched in and died of starvation and exposure. Or the bombing of the MOVE organization in Philadelphia. Or the assassination of civil rights leaders like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Bill Hicks said at the end of one of his shows, he said that life is like a ride in an amusement park. And you think it's real, and it's very loud and brightly colored, and it's fun for a while. And people start to wonder, is this real or is this just a ride? And there are people who have been on the ride for a long time, and they come back to us and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid ever, because this is just a ride. And you know what we do as a society? We unalive those people. And that's what we have done. We have allowed people have taken the blue pill thinking it was the red one. And the people of this country have forgotten what freedom is. And they need to be reminded. They need to understand that freedom is the pearl of great price. Because it is. If you stop believing in freedom and call servility freedom, then you have been hoodwinked. You have been lied to. We've been lied to our entire lives. As a child, I was told that George Washington chopped down a cherry tree and Abraham Lincoln was Honest Abe. Folk tales that blinded people to that blinded children to the truth. We were indoctrinated by our parents, lied to. Hell, for most people, it was only 10 years ago that people learned about the Tulsa Massacre. I don't understand why this country is so complacent in its decadency, that it's willing to allow the monster of consumerism blind them to the fact that they are losing everything, or will lose everything that they hold dear, and eventually they will have nothing left to cling to. No pageantry to cling to. All of that will be gone. If a recession happens, if a major economic recession happens, because of Trump's tariffs and poor economic policies, he will blame it on the Democrats, even though the Democrats weren't in power at all. But he's waiting for the midterms. He's waiting for the rollover to happen so he can blame the Democrats and tell you that it's all the Democrats' fault for the potential recession that comes, even though it was his policies that caused all of this. And he will blame people and gaslight people into thinking that he's right. And they will follow him like fucking lemmings over the cliff. Because they are slaves. They have forgotten what it means to be kings, to be masters of themselves. They have allowed themselves to become mastered and controlled by another person. That is what it means to be a slave. And it is more pitiful when you do it willingly. That we have allowed our country, this shining beacon on a hill, as it's been called, to become a realm of absolute despotism. That we have replaced the divine right of kings with the divine right of corporations and fucking tech bros. I pity this fucking country because of what it has become. It has become the very thing that we have sworn against. We talk about liberty and democracy and all of these fancy ideas that we have till now never truly lived up to. Tried to, but never fully lived up to. But we have forsaken our liberty on the altar of temporary security, temporary safety. And I hope that you have all gotten what you voted for.